We're doing a deload week this week, so gym footage is kind of meh. So I kind of had this idea of, let me show you a meal that I really enjoy making. I cooked this yesterday for dinner and it was really good, but it was slightly too salty, so I want to redo it. A very simple meal we're gonna have. It is a pasta dish. I got rotini. Quick tip when it comes to kind of like healthy dishes, but you want to have pasta. Do your best to try and get pasta that is small, like bite size, because it'll make you feel like you're eating more. Rotini is not bad, but it's a little too large for my taste, because if it's rotini, you know, fettuccine, spaghetti, any kind of pasta, it's always measured at 200 calories per serving. So if you can get something that has a lot of volume for one serving, you really want to try and go with that. So, but anyway, yeah, so this is going to be a roasted tomato creamy pasta dish with chicken. So first thing we're going to do, oven, just finished preheating. For seasonings, I did a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and probably about a teaspoon of garlic powder. So the oven is done, so we are just going to sprinkle this on the chicken. Okay. Chicken breast has already been butterflied open. Very cool. I've got a little bit of seasoning left. All right, so the chicken is about to go in the oven. This is what it looks like. Just lightly seasoned on both sides. We're gonna throw that in the oven, and while that's going on, because we have some seasoning left, what we're gonna do is roast the tomatoes while we get the sauce going. Unfortunately, I only have this pan, and we're only making 2 servings for the pasta, because I'm eating by myself tonight, and then I'm gonna have some for lunch tomorrow at work. So I'm probably gonna do maybe 10 tomatoes. So we're gonna open up the tomatoes. We cleaned off the knife. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take probably that many tomatoes and just have them like that. So, and we'll just kind of spread them apart right here. Take the little bit of seasoning that's left of garlic, salt, and pepper, and I'm just going to just sprinkle it just a smidge, and that's basically it. Just kind of rub them around, and just to help with the flavor, we're gonna take a smidge of olive oil and just lightly like that. Not a lot. You don't want to go overboard with it, but just enough to kind of toast those in there. And now that is gonna go in the oven while the chicken's cooking, probably for most of the time, and then we'll pull it out at the end when the sauce is ready. So to start the sauce, all I'm gonna do is take about a half tablespoon of butter, just drop it in the pot, let that melt. We're gonna coat the pan. While the pot's heating up with the butter, I guess I'll just talk about what I've been doing. So yeah, we have a deload this week. Basically what happened is that I was not feeling super great last weekend, and I was getting kind of a sore throat, and my body was just kind of feeling like crap, and it just kind of made me realize that I hadn't really taken much of a deload in a while, and so I think I just needed it. I think that was like my body's way of telling me that like I needed to just kind of chill out. So my throat's kind of dry right now, actually. My new favorite thing is these Diet Pepsis. They're so good. I really do. I think that they're better than I think they're better than Diet Coke or Coke Zero. So I think Diet Pepsi greater than Diet Coke or Coke Zero, but regular Coke is better than regular Pepsi. That's the way that I look at it. That's my tier list. But yeah, but lifts are going good. The way that I've kind of always organized my deload is I keep my reps the same and the number of sets the same. and exercise selection and order the same as much as I can. But the only thing that I change is I basically use the weight that I would use on like a typical training routine. I would use the weight of my last warm-up. So if I was doing, you know, if for my working weight I did 3 plates on a hack squat or leg press, for my deload I would do 2.5 plates, or yeah, I would do 2.5 plates, and just so on and so forth. And that's the way that I've done it. And basically what that lets me do is the last couple of reps, they're not difficult, but they start to slightly slow down a little bit, but I'm not approaching failure, and I'm definitely not doing any kind of intensifiers like doing partials or doing drop sets or anything else that I would normally do in a typical training routine. So, but I think that the butter has now coated the bottom of the pan. So let's get back to the recipe. All right, so for the sauce, it's really easy. So because I'm doing 2 servings, what I'm gonna do is only 1/3 a cup of marinara. Put that in, do that sizzle. And then I'm going to add a cup of milk. So I add that in, and this is full fat milk. And this is because when you actually start to make a sauce and we add in just a pinch of all-purpose flour in a little bit, the fat content that's actually in the milk will help it kind of thick up, especially towards the end when you're getting ready to serve with the spaghetti. While that sauce is warming up, we're gonna bring the water to the boil and then eventually start cooking the pasta while everything else is cooking. We'll wait until the water boils, add the rotini, and yeah, and then most of this is just a waiting game. Pasta's pretty much cooked. I'm tasting a bit right now just to make sure. Yeah, pasta's done. So the sauce is just kind of warming up. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to, I saw this, I forgot where I saw it from, but it's a trick just to kind of help, like, kind of like a watery based sauce kind of heat up a little bit. And all it is I'm just gonna take a little bit of all-purpose flour and just kind of sprinkle it in the pot, and then we'll stir that around just to kind of get it like thicken up a little bit. So just gonna stir a little bit. And then the last thing we're gonna add for the sauce is just a serving of Parmesan cheese. So yeah, we'll put that in. That will add a lot of really good flavor to it. So tomatoes are almost done. We're gonna pull those out, and then we're gonna wait on the chicken, cut up the chicken, and then it is gonna be ready to serve. So while I'm waiting for the chicken to finish cooking and the tomatoes to finish roasting, I'm gonna go ahead and pour the pasta into the food that I'm gonna have tonight, and then the lunch I'm gonna have tomorrow. And off camera, when I was getting everything ready just then, I kind of just had a thought that I thought I'd want to share about like meal prep and how you can make it easy for yourself and more, I don't know, just more enjoyable, more diverse in what you eat. So I see a lot of things on Instagram where people meal prep like one meal for a week at a time. And don't get me wrong, that is totally fine, and if people want to do that, then go ahead and do that. I can't eat the same lunch every day for 5 days or, you know, a week or whatever, however many days you end up planning it out. So what I've done, and I've learned this from my parents, this is how they did it growing up, and it always stuck with me as a really great idea, is whatever I'm making for dinner, and this is if I'm by myself or with my girlfriend and we're having dinner, I make double the recipe. So like today, if it is 1 serving of pasta, and, you know, 1 serving of the sauce, 1 serving of the chicken. I'm doing double servings pasta. That way I have enough food for lunch the next day. And if I'm with my girlfriend, instead of making 2 servings for us, I'm making 4 servings. So that way we have a great lunch the next day. It lets me have different meals every day, but I'm also prepared and I have meals planned out that work well into my nutrition goals. If you're tracking macros, that fit well into your macros and your protein goals and your calorie goals. So I think it's better just because it's more diverse. It's about the same amount of work and you get all the benefits, if not more benefits, with like more variety of meals. But tomatoes are done. We're gonna come back and we're going to go ahead and top the sauce and show the finishing touches. I just finished cutting up all the chicken breast, and actually this goes with what I was literally just talking about. I actually ended up making too much chicken, but that's not a problem because now I have a serving of chicken that I just put in a Ziploc bag for my next meal, or a meal where I need chicken and I'm in a bit of a time crunch. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to take the chicken. So we already took the sauce off and we're just gonna take some chicken. Very good, still juicy, not dry. I don't eat dry chicken. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the sauce and put the sauce on top. And that sauce has the tomatoes and the sauce mixture. Throw the rest of the sauce on tonight's dinner. Oh yeah. That's so good. Now the very last thing we're gonna do is we are going to take some Parmesan cheese and just sprinkle it on top. And just a smidge for some flavor. I've got dinner done. I've got lunch for tomorrow done. And everything falls, you know, in between 600 to 700 calories at around like 54, 55 grams of protein, which is exactly what I'm aiming for every time I make a meal. So that's great. All right, let's do a taste test. Let's see if this is less salty than last night. A little bit of chicken, a little bit of tomato, a little bit of sauce with the pasta. Yeah, no, it's much better. A little more creamy, a little less salty. Still has all the nice flavors. Very mellow sauce, not a super crazy sauce, you know. Not even a super creamy sauce because there's not any like heavy cream that was added to it. So this is definitely a really nice, healthy alternative, I feel like. If you're craving pasta, but you still want to hit your protein goals and you don't want to eat, you know, 1,000 calorie pasta dish that you would at like a typical Italian place. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be it for the video today. It's kind of a normal cooking. Training is gonna go back to normal on Monday. Today's Thursday, so yeah, next video we'll go back to normal. But yeah, hopefully I can get this video up soon. And yeah, if you guys have any ideas of recipes that you want me to try and make a little bit more healthy or anything like that, let me know down below. Let me know if you like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.